Right, girls, this is the sheet that you will be getting from the classroom, and we're going to go through this initial drawing of just the first lesson will just be these particular things here that you've got on your sheet. Now, you are actually copying them, but I do not want you to trace them. You should not be tracing them. We're just doing a copy of them. Okay, so the whole objective here is that you learn to use freehand drawing, and so I'm going to show you a method to employ. Now we'll start off with this first one here, which is just a square, and that's the basis for all the drawings down this side. We're then going to look at doing a circle which fits inside a square, and then that will result in a drawing like this, which combines both the square shapes, rectangular shapes, and the circle. And finally, I'm going to ask you to try and draw a bicycle. Okay, so let's make a start here. First of all, you will have a blank sheet of paper. You do have to have a blank sheet, not a line sheet. Right, so we're going to draw this square here. The first thing you need to do is get a pencil. That's an HB pencil. HB here is a medium lead pencil, which is not too dark, not too hard. Okay, we'll talk about that at another stage. So to draw the square, there are two different methods. I'm going to do two squares here just to show you the two methods. Okay, the first one is called the dot method. Now, I'm not a great fan of this, but some of you might find this easier. To use a dot method, you start off somewhere up here towards the corner. I want you to try and duplicate or replicate the drawing sheet that you've got, so that we end up with something looking like that, okay, rather than just random drawings all over the page. So if you start off with a dot, I'm going to make these dots quite big so you can see them. Okay, normally you won't have to make such a dark dot. Then take a distance. Now try and stay parallel to the edge of your paper. Okay, we don't want a square that's at an angle like this. We want one that's parallel to the edge. So make a second dot somewhere here. Okay, that's going to be the length of one side of the square. Once you've got that, you can look down in this direction and estimate now where the same length of side that might be. Make a third dot here, and then look across this way and down and find the position for the other corner. Okay, your eye tends to make straight lines, so that's how you can do it. Right, then you move your fingers up to the tip of your pencil, and we're going to draw lines from dot to dot. So be comfortable, make sure that you can move your paper around. Start off on the one side and focus your eye on the dot you want to move to. Okay, you can do a practice run if you want, and then try and push down, getting a nice firm outline. All right, then you might need to move your paper. Do the same on this one. Now I can see that, I'm hoping that's going to be a square. It's looking a bit longer in one direction. Let's just try. Okay, your lines are never going to be straight, not like you're using a ruler or anything, but you have a reasonably good square by the time you finish. I'm now going to do another square, and this is a different method. Okay, so it's not exactly like the handout sheet. There's only one square there, but I'm going to do a second one here, just to show you a different method. Now, I find this method easier, and it's a method used by artists more for sketching. First of all, you're not holding your pencil right at the end like this, but you sort of hold it towards the back, rather like a wand, or like a conductor might have his baton or something, conducting music. So you hold it at the back like this, and move it across the paper, parallel to this edge, top edge. Okay? Lightly, several times. You need to move your whole hand, not just your wrist. We don't want like windscreen wiper curves. If you're just moving your wrist and you're resting on the paper, you will get a curved line. So move your whole arm, lightly bring the pencil down to the surface and make a light line like that. Hopefully that is now parallel to the edge of your paper and gives you a guideline for drawing. Do a second one some distance away. This is now going to give you the one measurement of your square. Turn your paper so that you're now looking at this edge here, and make another line in this direction. And once you've got those two, you can estimate where you think the square would be, somewhere here probably. Okay, so that gives you another method of drawing a square. Here everything's rather faint, and we can put in the outline, but before that you might want to check if it's actually a square. So you can use your pencil like this and measure one side, and then check it against the other side to see if it's more or less correct. Okay, mine's pretty much okay. So now I can quite comfortably follow this line here to make a stronger outline. Okay, so here we go down here. Remember, you're not using a ruler, so it's not perfect, but it is a square. We're sketching. Once you've made one square, we're going to now look at the second drawing here, and this is really a square on its side. To line up these points here and here, I'm going to start off by doing cross lines. So I'm going to start off with a vertical line parallel to the side of the paper here, and a horizontal line in this direction. Okay, that will give me where these points are, so I can line it up correctly. This line now for the square is going to be at 45-degree angle. So I'll make a light line here. Looking at that triangle, I'll try and replicate it on this side. Okay, then I can move my paper this way, do one in that direction and one in that direction. Okay, so you end up with a kite-like shape. Try and make sure you've got a right angle here at these corners. Okay, draw that in now more firmly. You may make small adjustments as you draw these lines. Right, that's your second one done. Now the third one is just simply an estimation exercise, and you're going to be doing two squares. So we'll start off again going parallel to the top. Try and keep straight. choose a distance, do a